Brothers and sisters, Mrs. and Misters, cyberspace, the mothership has landed. The Dented Can is on the air once again in the brand new year. My name is Dobie Maxwell, flanked by my cohort, Max Bumgardner. We are going in a new direction for a new year. We want to discuss that today.
That's right. So first of all, Happy New Year. This will be airing on New Year's Day, 2022. What the hell was 2021? What was that? Oh, my gosh.
It was shrapnel from 2020.
Oh, gosh, darn. I was so glad to be done with it. I'm hoping that this year brings a lot better results. I mean, for everybody. I really am.
Well, I think everybody does. And every year people say the same thing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to eat broccoli every day. And I'm going to do 72 push-ups. And then by January 3rd, you're snorting chocolate syrup, sitting on the couch, passing gas, watching football. So I think, what we're trying to do, and I know you've done this and I've done this, it's a little inch by inch, things are a cinch, by the yard, everything's hard. We've been making little tiny steps with our show, and we appreciate everybody that watches, and we're going to keep doing it.
That's right.
To a degree.
Well, I wanted to talk about that. Let's go back and talk about, because it was a year ago today, we were in a hotel room in Kenosha, Wisconsin, trying to tape as many of these as we could. Just because we promised each other a long time ago that we would do this someday, and that someday turned into 15 years after we stopped working together. And then we just said, nope, we're going to go ahead and do it. And we did it. And here we are. What are your thoughts looking back over 50 episodes and all the effort and driving and expense and time and everything?
Well, once I cut you out of the mix, I'll be the star that I was meant to be, Max.
Yeah, you probably would be, and good for you. You're just going to have to find somebody to work for free. So I've got 300 hours into this thing, and I'm about at the end of my rope with it. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, and I really appreciate that. I mean, you start out lighthearted. We both put a lot of effort, you more than I technically, but we got together and you drove up here and I drove down there to where you were living. You're not living in that place now. And I am absolutely in love with this project because it helps people. It helps us to a degree. We talk about this off the air, but I hear people, and again, we are not superstars by any means, and we never were, and that wasn't our intention. Our intention was to touch people that need it, and millions of people need the, dare I say, medicine that we are bringing.
We may have something, but I also think that it's a really small audience, and I think that some people come to us, and please correct me if I'm wrong. You're out there in the trenches talking.
You're wrong.
Comedy, comedians. But I also believe that some people just don't care. Their thought is, so you had a rough life, big deal. So did I. So did everybody else. Move on. That's what I really feel like people think of this project. I really feel that way.
Interesting, and I'm sure many people do. My point is we have 8 billion potential customers with dents in their cans. We haven't gone to Iceland or Uzbekistan or the Congo or, wherever people are. And I'm just saying that I know there's a vibe here that helps people. Now, let's talk about that stupid habit that you and I have acquired and can't kick called the eating.
The first lesson that I learned is that the world will not change until I do. And that's been the toughest lesson for me personally. And I can tell you from now, where we are right now, and people are watching this on New Year's Day, 2022, to a year previous, my life is 100% different. It really is.
Better or just different?
Way better. Way, way, way better. I made
Care to elaborate?
Well, physically, I've never felt better in my life, but you know what I do, all that crazy stuff that I do. And it's worked. It really has worked. Mentally, I have always wanted to work for myself, and I made the leap. My wife and I both quit our jobs and to start, she's actually a traveler in the medical world, and I started my own agency, and that was amazing. That was amazing. Just I was freaking out because the kid from housing was like, Oh, wait a second. There's no paycheck coming next Friday. What are we going to do? And I got to tell you, man, I feel free and I'm not going to turn back around. I'm not going to be scared. And I'm not going to do business with people who are assholes. That's another thing I'm not going to do. We've both talked about that. And if you care to elaborate, you just, coming up here, you can talk about your last day at your job, unless you don't want to. And I can clip if I need to.
You're not giving me the windshield wipers, are you?
No, yeah. So, but I
will
tell
gladly
you,
talk about that when you're finished.
My life is completely different.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. I'm not, we talk about, oh, we're in transition. Yeah. And am I going to sit here and say, do I no longer have bad days? No. But what I can honestly look you in the eyes, I'm looking at your eyes. Let me look in the camera. Well, I can honestly say that I don't stay down. I'm not staying down. And you can make fun of me, my imaginary friend you always make fun of, but I am very much a believer. And the journaling that I've done and the books that I read, I'm not kidding you, man. It's different. It's different. It's different. It's different. And I just extricated a lot of things from my life. If you're hanging out with people who don't make you feel good about yourself, you shouldn't be hanging out with those people, period. You really shouldn't. Just get rid of them. That's it. Life's too damn short. I hear that all the time. It's really not. It's a long life. If you make it short and have a defeatist attitude, then yeah, it's going to be a shit sandwich. But I'm telling you,
on the double-decker shit sandwich without fries.
I'm telling you though, man, my life's in 1 year. In 1 year, my life's different. And some of the things we've talked about, I've done. And I can honestly tell you that getting it out and talking to you about this and then just sharing it with the world or all three people that have watched the videos, that helped too. But I don't want to stay there. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't want to stay there. I don't want to be the guys on the internet that make zero progress, keep doing the same things, keep circling back to the same train station going, why are we here again? Well, because you're on a circle track. That's why you're here again. You need to put new tracks in the road. And so I wanted to do that myself, and I did. Am I worried about crashing? Not even a little. I'm not. I'm just not. I'm not worried about it. And I don't know why that is. I have a lot of faith right now, and I'm sure there'll be some ups and downs. There always is when you start a new venture, but I'm pretty confident in my abilities and what I can bring to the table. So that's where I'm at.
Maybe you're just a flipping idiot.
Could be.
That's a joke. That's a joke, Max. And I wanted to tell you seriously.
But you're right. It could be.
No, I don't think it is at all. We're not in the same room where we can bust each other's stones. But I just want to tell you how much I love you and respect you. And I'm thrilled to hear this, what you're saying, because this is the whole idea, isn't it? To get better, to improve. We have a Facebook group. What do we talk about? I know in my posts, and you follow suit. The whole idea of this is to bond, confide, and heal. And you're doing fantastic, beyond fantastic. It takes guts to rip everything up, the roots of where you live. I know your wife lived in that town since she was born. And for her to follow you, it took faith, it took courage, it took guts, and you did it, and you're doing it. So yeah, okay, if you don't have a good month, or if you're not going to starve to death. That's the thing I've learned too.
Well, here's the thing though with that, and this is the remarkable thing. It wasn't me that she's following. I'm following her. She's the one who said, let's do this right now. So, and that's different than she's ever been in her lifetime. As in our married life, that's way different. She's the one who said, let's go do this, why we still have our health and why we still both want to, and why we still have some fire in us, let's go do this. And so I give all the credit to her. That's a true story. And so I'm telling you, man, 1 year later, everything has changed. And maybe next year when you're doing this show with your new co-host,
nobody asked us to do this. We decided to do it ourselves. Rodney Dangerfield, my favorite comedian, has a great line. He goes, I quit doing comedy years ago. And to tell you how well I was doing when I quit, I was the only one who knew I quit. So the same thing, if how many listeners we have do quit, but we have something here and we have a chemistry. We had it on the radio in Chicago. That was a dream for both of us. We lived it. Was it a long-term thing? No, it wasn't. We were in the position to succeed long-term. It was not our fault that we didn't. This came completely from the ashes. You know, two phoenixes rising from the ashes. I think it's fun. It's great. I would like to do it as long as you would. And if that's not working for you right now, buddy, there are no rules. We can quit. We can pause. We can do whatever you want to do. I'm Chico. You're the man.
I want to do, I want to, first of all, I want to go back and talk about your last day. Then I want to get a recap on your life and where you are. We're trying to be totally candid. And then I would like to talk about what I see as the future here for not only this show. You and I will remain friends until we die. I am already convinced of that. And we can continue this show, but I would like to share some ideas and package them in little 60 to 90 second, here's what I do, see if it works for you. Kind of a dented can 40-day journey with a new episode every single day.
Well, there was only a guy named Tony Robbins that did a 30-day program, which I just got at a thrift store for $3 that used to sell probably for hundreds. And he did it, I think, in 1989 when people's attention spans were longer. And now he's got a 7-day program. And I popped the cassettes in. They're fantastic. And what you're doing, I mean, I hope you know that you're an inspiration to me when you tell me these stories that you do. You ride a bike across Iowa and you make your bed every day. And you know I tease you, but it's like brothers tease each other. If someone else did, I'd rip their Adam's apple out of their throat. If someone else made fun of you. Yeah. So, you know, and that's one thing I think is fantastic. If all this project added up to is you are in the state that you're in now, I think that's magnificent, and I'm glad I was along for the ride.
Last day at work, what do you got?
Yeah, I was working for a convenience store chain in the Midwest, and they're in 3 states, and they have 700 stores, for those people that don't know. And I was living near one of their locations, excuse me, as COVID hit, and I was not happy doing cruise ships. I just wanted some supplementary income. And COVID came along, and it turned out to be pretty much a full-time gig. You know, they didn't want to pay you overtime, but as close to 40 hours as I could get, that's what I got. And I was the golden child. You know, those people are normal people that are not, they're dented cans, but not like comedian dented cans. There's a less of a viciousness there. And I truly bonded with my coworkers. They would ask to have me or to work on the scheduled days that I was there because I made them laugh and I treated them well and I worked really hard, and, you know, it just made it fun as fun as I could. So I'm setting this up for a reason. And there's people that come in the same every day, the same attitude, and they're snarly, whiny, low-life pieces of doo-doo. And I mean that in a friendly and a customer service kind of a way. And there's one guy, large, obese, mean-spirited. Try to be nice to him. I tease the other local workers. I didn't know the guy's name. I call him Grumpy's. Hey, Grumpy's in here today. Let's try to make him. Hi, how are you, sir? Would you like to? And he's grunting and farting and belching and doesn't say anything nice. So he comes in one day at the wrong place. It's a 7.5 hours into an 8-hour rough shift. A woman in her 60s had come in and she asked me, she couldn't get a coupon on her phone app. And one thing, I spent about 3 minutes and I solved it to her. And she smiled and thank you, sir. I appreciate it. And there's a line in the store that it comes from the right to the cashiers, and then you go out the door. Well, there's an aisle on the left, and some people go there. So sometimes I have to say, sir, ma'am, our line starts over here. Thank you. We appreciate it. So she came the wrong way. The guy, Grumpy, and people behind him are saying, hey, we're first. This nasty, mean. I said, hey, I'm helping this lady. She was in before. It'll take 15 seconds. I'll be right with you. So Grumpy goes to another register. A guy comes to me, and I know how much we both like alcoholics, Max. This guy had 12 32-ounce hard lemonades, because I know when we get hungry or we're thirsty, we got to wash it down with 12 quarts of liquor. So you needed to serve me and blah, blah, blah. And one thing led to another. I say, just calm down. And the guy, Grumpy, walks behind him. This is all on video, by the way. And he says something out of the side of his mouth, exactly like my father would say. He goes, we were first, do your job. Just like that. It was pronounced and everybody heard it. And I just snapped after a couple. Then I say, drink a Diet Coke, you fat effing pig, and I went off on him. Then the other guy started something, and I'm going to kick your, and he happened to be black, and he started making it racial, and one thing led to another. So I went around the counter, and the grumpy left, and the other guy's there with the booze, and said, I made some threats, and I gave him the windshield wipers right in his face. It's all on video. I'm thinking, okay, I snapped like a number 2 pencil. Bing, it was there. And they made me go in the back for a while. And then I stocked some Pepsis in the cooler before I left. So the next day I show up, look around. Hi, Dope. How you doing? Just like any other day. Went through an 8-hour shift. It was actually fun. Oh, what I didn't add at the end of the first day, somebody came a minute before I was supposed to leave, drops a gallon of milk, and the cap pops off right by the registers. So we got a gallon of milk all over. Exactly. So I'm laughing. I said, why are you laughing? I said, because this is just the caramel cherry on the sundae of this miserable day. So I'm laughing as I'm mopping up milk and moving all the hot dog grills and everything like that. And something, okay, the next day it was great. Had some laughs, thought, okay, blew over. The day after that, my boss, big boss, is there. I said, can we talk outside for a minute? I knew what it was about. Oh, what happened here? I said, you saw the video. So we're going to be like John Madden on the NFL. You're going to diagram. Yes. I said, well, did you swear at him? Well, yeah, yes, I did. And did you flip him? I said, look, you saw it. What do you want me to do? There's 700 stores in the chain. You can't tell me I'm not the only one. Yeah, but you're the best employee we've got. You show up early. You stay late. You fill in when people need you. You're my Superman. And it said, you're not going to win when you go against the customer. I said, can the Tony Robbins bull, So one thing led to another. I said, well, I will have you back, but human resources is going to review the tape, and they're going to make the decision. So I went back on the floor. 10 minutes later, had me back in the office. They decided to let you go. Now, they have a profit sharing program where the company made like $600 million, and they have, 28,000 employees. So there's a nice chunk of profit sharing. 40% of their profits goes back to the employees. So I said, do I get my profit sharing check? No. So, all right. I think, all right, I'm not taking it personally. And they're talking about maybe it's the year we've done the show. I would have been, maniacal, just absolutely, I said, okay, if that's what it's got to be, if the universe is dusting, if God is there and he's telling me what to do, I'll accept it. So there's a Facebook group for the store, and I'll post a daily chuckle, Dobie's daily non-political chuckle. And there's people there that are grandmas and moms, and it was clean. It wasn't, risque, anything like that. So I built up some goodwill, and I just put a post together. I said, look, I snapped at a customer. It was under 30 seconds after 7.5 hours of a bad day. You've all been there. They're letting me go. Sorry. It was nice working with you all. It was a deluge. It was like my eulogy. I hear you're just the greatest guy, and everybody at the stores that you fill in talks about you, blah, 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 blah. So one thing led to another. The district manager saw it, the corporate people, my guy that was my boss loved me. They went to bat for me since I got let go 2 days after the check was technically written. They gave me my bonus check. So being a good guy, it paid off. So that'll get me through a few months, and I'm in a great space. I did the best I could at that store. It was never something I was going to do my entire life. I made an impression on those people. There's a lot of kids that were, 19, 20, 21 that were kind of directionless. That's a decent job, and they're trying to make something out of themselves. So I would be their father figure, their mentor. Hey, how's your life? One of the kids, he's trying to get in a band, and, here's some things you might want to think about in show business. And his eyes lit up. It's like, wow, no one ever helped me with that kind of stuff before. So I am convinced, I think like you are, no matter where I end up, I am not going to let it defeat me. I have quit stand-up comedy. I don't have any desire to get on stage in front of drunks. As we recording this, I had a holiday party that I did, and it was in the middle of Michigan at some roadhouse bar, and I'm pushing the freight trains. You've seen me at my worst. It was a show we talk about, and one of your wife's friends came out, and it's like, it was one of those. And I'm thinking, after all these years, this is what it comes to. I think, I'm fighting the flow, and you are going with the flow. I want to do that. I'm not as good with money things as you are, so I have also good the creative side, whether I'm left-handed and creative or whatever it is, but I respect you. I'm happy for you. I need to go in the same direction and start something new. So it's a new year, which does that mean anything? No, you could say every day is a new day.
I think it does mean something. I think it does mean something. And the reason I do is not because it's a new year necessarily, because it's a new year after COVID is why I think, because I think people who were already having a rough time, well, it's everywhere in the news. On our Facebook group, I've shared a couple of articles that only 40% now have a positive outlook. And I think you commented that you're surprised it's even that high.
I am surprised it's that high.
Well, typically it's 80%. Okay. So COVID definitely has had an impact everywhere on the planet. You know, even how we're doing this new technology we're using right now didn't mean anything before. I work at home. You know, I got to go to a Zoom meeting. So here we are on the
Let me ask you one thing, honestly. Are you wearing trousers right now?
Yes. Actually, okay. I'm wearing shorts. And since I've been here, I've only been wearing shorts. So yeah, it's okay. I haven't worn pants since November 29th. So yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's fantastic. I love it. So,
well, I'm swinging free commando, just so you know.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
I'd stand up and make you squint. But I don't do that.
So, well, I mean, so where do you think you are 1 year later? We're in a hotel room in Kenosha taping this stuff. You know, we turn the lights off, you take off, you come back the next day. You take me for a tour all around Kenosha. We go eat a big breakfast, you know, and then we tape some more shows. Where are you now, a year later?
I'm tired, Max. I worked really hard this year. I worked physically hard, mentally hard. I'm overwhelmed. There are too many things going on in my life. And people call me when they want something. And I've always been what would you call it? A helper, you know, and it's to the point where I need to help myself financially.
What do you need? What do you want to happen in the next year? What do you need?
Like you, I need a physical fitness program. I'm not sleeping well. I just had my second surgery for kidney stones. It was brutal. You know what a stent is?
I do.
Try getting one of those in or out. Oh, absolutely ungodly painful. But it's better now. It's out. And I just need to rest and breathe and go into another gear in life. You know, I was also, I don't want to say worried, but concerned about, I got to be on stage. And I don't care if I ever go on stage again. And that would be like you saying, I don't ever want to be on the radio again, or something that was a huge part of your life.
It was, and it's no longer, and I don't miss it. I did for a long time, but I don't anymore at all.
So, yeah, because you filled it with better things.
I did. Things that passed the who gives a shit test. You know, I look back on that and I'm actually embarrassed for what I did do on the radio, because it was not good. I was really always very average. And I look back and think, would I listen to me on the radio? And the answer is no. I would not. So, and I'm in way better shape physically and mentally and spiritually and financially than I ever was at any point in my radio career, ever. And that's crazy, as you know, because I could be in the fourth quarter. I could be in the final 2 minutes. I don't even know. But
none of us know. That's the thing.
I'm enjoying myself right now. I'm enjoying my wife. I'm enjoying my kids. You know, I'm enjoying relationships with really good friends. You're one of those people. And that's, you know, I'm glad that we're able to have this. I want this for you. I want this feeling that I have for you, you know, and for me personally, I had to quit doing certain things, and I had to quit saying yes. Like you just mentioned, you say yes and you say yes and you say yes and you say yes and you overcommit. Well, I'm the same way. I can't look at you and say, stop doing that. I did the same thing.
No, I'm looking at me saying I have to stop doing that.
Yeah. But I mean, I've done the same thing. And because we want the approval, we want the, you know, we're thinking, well, maybe this will be the thing that takes me over the wall, so to speak, and I can live a normal life. And the truth is, you have everything you need. You know, you don't really need anyone else. You can do it yourself. I know that about myself too. I may never have a yacht, you know, or a Prevost tour bus, but who gives a shit? I could care less. I mean, look, living life like we're living it right now for however long this lasts. And that's something I've never done before either, is I've never lived in day tight compartments. I remember that from an Earl Nightingale
I love Earl
series.
Nightingale.
I do too, but I mean, that was one of those things that was one of the stories living in day tight compartments, meaning that we have our whole lives worried about what's coming up. And then when we're not doing that, we're reliving all the stuff that happened in the past. We're reliving the stuff that happened in the past with people who are dead. They're dead. Mm-hmm. So why are we still reliving that? That's the first question. I'm not asking you specifically, but I ask myself that question. I refuse to do that. And then I'm not going to worry about what's going to happen in the future. Because why? What's the point in that, man? And when I start doing that, what I've been doing a lot lately is I've been dropping and doing 30 push-ups like that. Okay. So, and then if that doesn't work, I see if I can go past 2 minutes in a plank. And I'll tell you something. I'll issue this challenge to you and everybody else. Okay. If you can still think about your problems while you're doing a 2-minute plank or beyond.
What is a plank? Pardon my ignorance.
Well, a plank is when you keep your body straight, you get up on your elbows, you're laying flat, and you're on your toes on the other end. You hold your body straight. Try doing that. You want to try doing that right now? I'll time you.
No, I have no desire to ever do that, Max, but I will, only because I'm listening to you.
Well, it strengthens your core, I'm no muscle man. That's obvious, but I feel great, man. I really do. I'm not kidding. I really do.
No, there's something to be said to that. Here's something I've tried that my grandpa started years and years ago. I know this sounds stupid, but I'm trying to pick up 7 pieces of garbage on the ground every day.
Okay.
7. And I think, and people look at me like, I see, fast food cup or candy bar wrapper, whatever it is. And there's sure no shortage of that. The 7 is not that many when there's a big pile. But I try to sometimes I'll get 1, 2, or 3, and people look at me and I put it in the garbage and I feel really good about myself. And to bend over, it's not the huge, it's not a plank, but it's something, and it's chipping away, man. And every day is how can I say, it's a stage for all of us to live.
So back to my original question here.
Yes.
1 year later,
mm-hmm.
Has there been any difference, or do you feel like you're still stuck in the glue trap?
No, I think there's major improvement. I feel it in my personal life. I have had to amputate probably at least 100 people from my life.
But why?
Because I was running a comedy club, and I'll make the short version of it. And I had a partner who was the devil that I didn't know. It turns out I didn't need that partner, but he was the money of the thing, and it just didn't work out. And after I got in business with him, I found out that he's done this to countless other people. So I put the word out to my people I thought were my friends and cohorts and said, if you just back off, I can get the club myself. And I think we'll really have something good where I will let you work whenever you want to work. We'll be good. Shangri-La, Hershey bars, Archie comics, rainbows, and unicorns. Max, they lined up over my smoking dead corpse to stand over me and to work for that satanic MFer. And it hurt me. It still hurts to this day. I'm thinking, okay, you showed me where I stood. I am apparently not as loved and respected as I liked and loved and respected you. So I'm going to move on. And that was just unbelievably liberating. Oh my God. I don't miss any one of those people.
Well, my question is why is that? Because that's a common theme in a dented can's life. So, having to amputate people. So there's, why are we putting ourselves in that position? Why'd you put yourself in that position in the first place? And because I think if you think about it, because I've known you now for, how long has it been? 16,
it's been a 15-year sentence, Max.
But no,
thank you. Birds are flying in Florida.
It's a common theme. It's a common theme. So, and it happens. It's like, well, we're really, and maybe it's just the business. It could be something I don't know anything about, which is comedy. But it could be the comedy business, and maybe it's just almost like the radio business, because we both know that we've met some people that in radio that we don't want to have anything to do with. I'll just make it that simple.
Those people, their attitude is they want us to have heart attacks and to be dragged out of the studio so they can go in and finish our shift.
You know what? They could have every radio station in the country. I could give a shit about that.
I'm with you.
Just like everyday people could give a shit about it. I don't hear people talking about hardly anyone anymore. Here's the thing. At least for me, I have made a dramatic change in 12 months. Just an absolute dramatic change. The exercising and the biking and stuff like that, I've been doing for quite a few years now. You know, the daily habits with the journaling, with God, with the eating. I've been doing that for a few years now too. So that didn't just happen in the last 12 months, but the decisions did happen in the last 12 months. The decisions to change our life. When we were taping this a year ago, I had no idea I'd be sitting in this seat where I'm sitting right now, 1 year later. So I don't want to stay in the victim mode. I don't want to stay in the hurt mode. I don't want to stay in a mode where, where we say we're always trying, but we're really not doing anything different. I think that to have massive change in your life, you have to massively change. I really do believe that.
Well, I personally, I've massively changed more in the last 12 months than I have probably in the past 15 before that.
Good.
I really feel it. I mean, it's all at once, losing the job. That's the thing. I really wasn't sad to lose it, but it's just, we all have our kryptonite.
Right.
And money, I never worried about it. I always had comedy money and radio money coming in. When I had both jobs, I was great. And then when I didn't, I just live and basically let the wind blow where it does. Right. I'm learning new things. I'm meeting new people. I am studying new things. And I feel like a kid again. So,
well, yeah. I think I can honestly say this about you. I think everybody who knows you sees how wonderful your heart is, because it really is. And I know that when someone is disrespectful to you, it hurts you deeply.
Yeah.
Because I've been there before too. And I share that with you. And that's that dented can-ness. Okay. My wish for you, brother, is that you just don't put yourself in that situation anymore. As doing whatever you can do, that just you are relying on you and not relying on other people, other bookers, other comics, another bar, another, job.
I told you, I have amputated comedy from my life. It is not something I need or want to do anymore.
But you've said that many times and then you get a phone call, and here's the thing.
I got to say no.
I'm just being honest. Okay. I don't think you have to say no. That's because I think it's in you. And I know that when you light up a room, I've been in the room before. And I know that when you talk about canceling and not ever doing it again, that, you're very adamant. I'm not going to ever do this again. I'm done. It's been this, you'll do a long post about it. But I know if somebody called you and say, like right now, if we hang up this and somebody calls you and says, I got $3,500, but I need you in Nashville this weekend. I know you well enough to go, because you love it, not just the money. You love being on stage, man.
No, that's really evolving.
Okay.
I don't love it anymore. I don't.
All right. Okay. All right. So I stand corrected. So
I'm just telling you, I mean, it scares me. I never thought I would say that before. At this last gig that I did, it's supposed to be the last one. It's like, it was just pushing a freight train up a hill. And it became a glorified panel discussion when it's like, no, I have a show. It works if you'll just be quiet and do what you do. And people started talking and asking questions. And one thing, what am I doing with my life, man?
Yeah. Well,
no interest. It's just, it's like going back to kindergarten. It's fun when you're 5, but when you're anytime over that, it's just done. Your baby teeth fall out. They're gone for good. They don't grow back. New ones grow in. My baby teeth, maybe it was 35 years. It took me to realize that, but I don't feel it, man.
Okay. All right. You got to live your life and do what you got to do. I'm all about, after this episode airs, starting the very next day, which would be January 3rd or tomorrow, because we're taping this a couple weeks before.
Yeah, because I got a gig that. Oh no,
you will have.
It's a habit, man.
Yeah. You got to drive to I got to drive to Fargo, North Dakota. So, or whatever. So, yeah.
Drive a forklift and load the pickle truck.
Why not? Who cares?
That wouldn't be a bad thing.
No, it wouldn't. And you'll make everybody laugh and everybody will love you like they did at your last job. Brother, I would like to go ahead and share little things that I have learned for as many days as you'll allow. And then I want you to call me back. I hope that people, if they watch it, I hope they'll comment on it. I hope they'll take shots at me. That's fine. Go right ahead. I hope there's some comments. I hope that there's at least something, some sort form of life, because I'm going to put in the effort so I can get to 100. Okay. I'd like to get to 100 episodes, in February, for sure by your birthday on March 14th, but I'd like to get to 100 episodes and then I'm going to be done. I'm going to be done with this because
you don't want to have any more fun conversations like this, even if it's once a week.
Yeah, I do. With you, I will, but I don't know if we need to put it on video anymore. I just,
okay. All right.
It's up to you if you want to keep doing that. I can do it for you always. If it helps you and it will help you in any way, then the answer would be yes.
I enjoy it.
Okay.
And the internet is so full of trash, crap, poppycock, ballyhoo, balderdash, whatever you want to say. Are we going to take up much space by doing it? Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I'm thinking things catch on later than when they were made.
Well, if we get 1,000 subscribers, I'm in until one of us dies. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right now, we're nowhere close to that. So, but anyway, what I want to say is I want to have the same conversation next year, whether we're doing the show then or not. Meaning, whether we've put it on hiatus just to let it germinate and see if something happens on its own with the algorithms. But if it doesn't, I still want to have a conversation another year from now. What are you going to do different this year?
I've got a lot of things lined up that I'm going to do differently. I have a bunch of people that I am forging relationships with that I either don't know at all or haven't talked to in a long time. And I'm consciously putting in my schedule weekly goals, monthly goals, quarterly goals, things that I want to do, books that I want to read, things that I want to accomplish. I've never done this before. Just kind of let it go where it goes. And it's like, I feel great just doing that.
Okay.
And it will be physical improvement, mental improvement, hopefully spiritual improvement. And I feel great about it. Yes, I could take a bullet tomorrow like we all could, but I have never been as excited about a new year as I am this one coming up.
Good. That's promising. That's good to hear.
Well, yeah. And you helped me inspire with that. I don't know if I'll ride a bike across Iowa, but I will make the effort.
That's no big deal, by the way, that riding a bike across Iowa.
Pretty big deal.
And if you want to do it, we can do it in July if you want to. July of 2022.
Well, I don't have a bike, so I'd have that Schwinn, 3-speed.
I'll get you a good, heavy, huffy bike from Kmart.
Oh, that'd be great. Blow my knees out halfway to Des Moines.
Yeah. And by the way, there is one Kmart left, and it's here in Key West.
Really?
Yeah. Seriously.
Key West, Kmart.
It's open. No, the real brand is open. There's still one open here. The whole company is shut down, but there's one here.
I love Key. Is there blue light?
They don't do the blue light anymore, but it's pretty sparse. But they even have a sign out front that says hiring. And it made me, I was just like, oh my gosh, these people have such a positive attitude. I love life here because
you get a part-time job. Work at the candy machine.
I thought about it. I thought about going to work at Kmart. Why not? The world's coming to an end anyway. Why not go work at Kmart? My name's Max. How may I help you? There's a smile.
Good in a blue polyester shirt.
Oh gosh. Anyway, so all right.
But anyway, well, I think hopefully we can inspire viewers too. And no matter where it goes, you and I said we're going to do 50 episodes by the first of the year and then 100 by my birthday, and we're doing it. So that alone, I think, is an improvement over a year ago. Don't you think?
I do.
How many people talk about stuff and they never do it? We did it.
I know. So let's at least do one of these once a week until your birthday. Okay. So that will give us 10 episodes, and then we'll fill in the other 40 with some other stuff. I'd like to share, like I said, something daily, just a video daily that's produced on a habit. And I think you could make it really funny by pulling it apart for people who are watching it. So you could just go, oh, that's great. That's fantastic. You know, no matter what it's about, but I think you should do that. And I don't think you should say, just joking. I'm just joking. None of that stuff. Just let it rip. I think if we do this together, at least it'll pass the who gives a shit test for the listeners and the viewers. I think people will go, I'm going to watch just to see Dobie rip the hell out of Max. Or
I don't want to rip you, man. I want to support you, but okay.
Or I'm going to watch because some of this stuff is working for Max. And so maybe I could do it too. Just a thought.
I'm still working on the whole plank idea. I got to work on that. So
I'll tell you what, I'll send you $100 if you can do a 1 minute plank right now. Can you do it?
I don't think I can, buddy.
Do you want to, can you move your camera somewhere?
No. I'm not wearing pants. I told you.
I'll post myself doing a plank. How about that? And then you
please do.
Okay. I'll post that'll be one episode. See, I'm just trying to fill in episodes just to get to the promise. So yeah.
Okay, Jack LaLanne.
Okay.
Hey man, I loved him too. He did. Just have fun, buddy. Nobody cares. The world's out of control.
I know.
So love you, buddy. I really appreciate doing this. It was fun.
I love you too. And we're going to keep making it fun. We've got 10 together left to do, and I'll start posting some other ones. Okay. So let's talk again soon.
Beautiful.
All right, brother.
Got to pay my internet bill. Windshield wipers. We are the Dented Cast. Thank you for watching. We'll be back.